So today I'm holding fish. This is Dad's fish farm. This is not a paid advert. This is I was given a free sample of this fish, and I decided to why not? You should see it. It's something you need to try. Now it as well. Like if you eat this fish to enter here, you will have to come back and thank me later. This is from Dad's fish farm. You can contact them to get this fish anywhere you are in the world. If you are in Enugu, it is very, very easy to get this fish. If you are in Enugu, if you are in Emmanuel, it's easy to get this fish. Just call this number 080-3589-3881. I'll take it again, 080-3589-3881. As I said, this is a free advert. This was not sponsored. Well, in fact, I have with me today a very special guest, and he's the one making this. So you need to see his face. You need to thank me later. Catch her in the set. With me today is my daddy and my mom in the Lord. They are very, very special personalities. Okay, I'll be asking them some few questions, and by the grace of God, we'll be getting answers that will help us, both single and married people. Okay, Daddy, let me ask, please, for like how long now have you been married?
Yeah, okay. We have been married for close to 30 years.
Wow.
By April next year, it will be exactly 30 years.
Wow.
Married on 9th of April 1994.
Wow.
So that's what I'm saying. By April will be 30 years.
Wow.
Married, and the 30 years has been like if it was yesterday. like yesterday, you know?
Wow, that's awesome.
You see, one thing I always advise young people is that so many of these theories don't really hold water. Marriage is beyond some of these things meteorites. Marriage is more spiritual than physical. Being an institution that was instituted by God Himself. My advice to most people is listen to your inner man, your spirit man. Once it comes to the issue of knowledge, listen to what your mind is telling you about the person you have seen that you have identified as a possible marriage partner. I always tell people, whenever you feel afraid about a particular individual, please discontinue. If you are not really comfortable, you are in doubt. The best thing is, just apply the brakes. The guiding principle is that when you meet somebody that's a possible will-be partner, that peace must be there. That's number one. That attraction must be there. These are the two things that will make you to now move forward. You understand? Then, and as you move forward, there are there are things you look out for. Like you are talking about differences and going back to the Bible again. If you remember, when it was time for Isaac to get married, Abraham told his servant, please go back to where I came from. Go and look for a wife for this boy. That's was talking, referring to Isaac. And the young man set out. Before he set out for that journey, he prayed and asked God, please grant me speed. Let your favor be upon me. Lead me to that person that you have made for my master's son. You understand? So marriage is not something you just jump into because you see a beautiful girl or you see a beautiful, you know that kind of something. Yes, in as much as the physiognomy should be first of all appealing to you. You know, it starts from the one, from the known to the unknown. It must be first appealing to you that before you now make, for example, like I'm saying, peace. When you see the fact and you have peace, you go on. You know, but again, I also advise people that people who marry because of ephemeral things, you know, things you can see because he's rich, because he has long nose, he has beautiful, you will make a very big mistake if you go by that. But if you marry because of reason, you know, because the other physical things may change with time, but those reasons why you decide to stay, to go out all out for this person, that reason will always be there. I don't know whether you understand me.
Yes,
the reason will always, because he is riding the latest car in town. Tomorrow another brand will come out. That one won't be latest thing. Or because he's living in so place, you know, this is nature. But if you are not marrying that person because you know, she loves God.
Yes.
She's hardworking.
Yes.
You know, she's always thoughtful before she does anything. You know, these are things that will always be there.
Yes.
You understand? So that's why I'm saying, if you marry because of, you know, just because he's tall, you know, those things will fade away. You know, but if you now marry because of certain reasons, things that you've observed about the person, then the relationship, you know, you discover that it will be deeper and deeper, closer and closer as the years come by.
And I think concerning what you just asked about the likes and dislikes, I don't think there was anything really that we had as an experience like that. I wouldn't say this one likes Gary and this one does not like Gary, or this one likes rice or does not like wasn't eating beans or something like that. I think most of the things, talking about eatable, most of the things that we started with, the common food that can come to the house, I don't think there was really any like and dislike. Or maybe when you cook a goosey, somebody will say no, it's a one that I prefer. No, I don't think we really had that. We really have that. It's the only thing that when you cook it, make sure that you cooked it well.
Yes.
That's where what's the name now? Where pepper is supposed to be, you won't go and carry the whole pepper and put it. Just something that is acceptable. But in terms of I like this one, I don't like this one, I hate this one. No, I don't think we really had that. Or is it that? No, there was not really that. You say, okay, this is the thing that if anything it is cooked, I won't eat in the house that day. No, we never had that experience. Anyone that is cooked, everybody will take it fit, as long as it is cooked well.
Hey, Mom, this question goes to you now. How did you know Daddy was the one? Because I'm sure you must have had other people come in, and how did you know? Like, I want to know how you knew. Maybe you had this peace in your heart, or how did you know that he was the one?
Okay, just like he said, as he was answering down your question, the peace was there.
Okay.
And you are right that it wasn't the first person or the only person that I knew then, but the fact is that when you discuss with someone, you'll be able to say, okay, I like the way this person answered so question. I like the way he answered me. Even it's not that I asked and they say, why was you ask that kind of question? But I saw someone that would kind of even educate me more on certain things, things that I do not even know. But by asking, I see the answer coming, or the direction, coming. That means that a place I can learn, someone I can learn from.
That will help you get better.
Yes, someone I can learn from that will educate me on some things, that will direct me on how to do something better. I had that, let me say, that blessing, and it had continued. That there is nothing, that is okay. I get confused. There was nobody that could help me. No. Because in terms of education, it's there. Let me say it was there because it helped.
Yes.
And it has continued to be there. In everything, there's always a better way, a way you can learn something to refresh on it, and even add better to the one you think you know before. It has been a blessing of God.
Thank God. Did you have anything to say with regard to the question I asked her, like how did you know she was the one? Because what were the attributes, or what you knew that this is the one I'm going for?
It was I'll just say the act of God. Now the issue is that before I met her, I'd always related with so many other girls, at a point my friends were saying that you are looking for Miss Perfect. There is nothing like that. Some of my family friends, in fact, I was relating more with family people. Some families I identify that are good Christian homes. Most of the time I see myself gravitating towards such people. And though I had, friends who are bachelors like myself then, but I was more at home with relating with, identified families, you get, and through them, I had so many suggestions, because I told them, no, I don't like all these stereotypes. You go and talk to a girl that's also there. I say, if you do that, then you see my back. If you want to introduce me to anyone, just point to the person and tell me, why don't you look at this? And then allow me to explore and take my decisions. And that's the way I was relating with them. And in fact, there was this particular family then that was, Mr. Mike, he would always, okay, why don't you, okay, we'll go and see that one. And later he'll be asking me, so how far? I'll just tell a point blank that I'm not, satisfied, to the point that one of the days he said, look, you are not even encouraging people at all. Because there was a case, he was so sure that when I see the girl, I would like her, The fact he carried me in his motorbike that day, we went to the place, he was so sure. You understand? Mm-hmm. So after visiting that family and we are now coming out, he now asked me, so how far? I said no. The man was so angry. I said, please don't get angry with me, Now, but it continued until accidentally one day I was coming back from work, because actually at a point I wanted to change my job. I wanted to leave, where I was working for somewhere else, but along the line there was no cell phone then. The interview that was arranged, everything had worked out, but I didn't get the interview date and the thing lapsed. So I was really dejected. And as I was going back home, I drove to my friend's office, and there I met her and one of her colleagues, they came to see that my friend in his office. And right from school, because she was just entering the university then, and so I met all of them in the office. We were chatting, and funny enough, she was dragging the argument so much, that I was trying to tell her that this is what you get to think. She said no, but that And as we are talking, the commissioner called my friend, he left. So remaining 3 of us, herself, her friend, and myself. So we talked and talked and talked. One thing told me that this girl is very bright, I like the way she was. I say, even at her age, he could drag with me in argument like this, and something just told me that, look, this is the girl you are looking for, So I left 2 of them there. When I heard my friend's voice coming out from the commissioner's office, I left. I went and met him outside, and I asked her, I said, who are these people in your office? He said, which people? I said, that girl in your office. He started telling me, say you like her. I said, come, be serious. I'm asking you some this thing here. So he now told me, the father that the father is also. Meanwhile, I didn't know the dad, but I know the dad's elder brother. So I now mentioned that. He said, no, the man has a younger brother. So. I said, I don't know that one. It's okay, but that is the daughter. It's okay. I went back and we continued. And in fact, something in me told me, don't miss this opportunity. So, and now, there was fuel crisis then, long queues in the but I was using Passat then, and in terms of fuel economy, it was, so I had fuel in market. So I now told them, I say, come, since your closing time is, already near, why don't you round up that I want us to go somewhere, we'll go with these students. I said, okay, no problems. He now started rounding up. Inside my mind, I said, look, there's no point wasting time. Now that you have seen somebody that is near what you are looking for, why don't you go ahead, don't postpone this thing to another day.
Yes.
So I made up my mind there and then. And the enemy has a way of thwarting your plans. As we are now planning to go out, 2 ladies, came into his office. Then one of them has been dancing around me, who I didn't want to recognize, and she now saw it as an opportunity to. I said, come on, we are not going your direction, so please. He said, no, anywhere we are going that we are following us. All attempts to drop them
failed.
They say there's fuel crisis. They can't go now that they've seen me and they are mobile. My car is here. That they will just follow us anywhere we are. That they know that we will eventually drop them. Okay, my friend closed. All of us, we jumped into the car. I was thinking of what do I do? If I just carry them to the nearest bus stop, when we got there, I told them, will you step down? So, quietly they just left, and we drove into one new, joint that they just opened newly, Now, when they were now bringing the star, I asked the young man with her, is that your girlfriend? He said, no, sir. No, I said, I said, no, better tell me now. He said, no, sir, no. She's just my, colleague. We are from around the same place. I said, okay, no problems. I said, the thing is that you have to step aside. I want to have some talks with her. He said, yes, sir. He packed his things to the other table. So, remaining 2 of us. And there and then, I told her, this is why I've called you. You don't know me, but this is me. I introduced myself. Then, incidentally, she knows my younger ones, but she didn't know me. And I said, this is me. And in fact, by the time I met you in my friend's office, that time we are arguing and something, something tells me that, we should pursue this relationship further than this. And I asked her some basic questions. I said, do you know your genotype? She said she doesn't know. That's okay. Do you know your blood group? She said she doesn't know. I said, these are things that one should know, even with or no this or something. These are basic facts about yourself. You should. I said, do you care going to find out what they are? And but if you don't mind, by tomorrow we can meet at so lab and let us try to find out. And that this is the reason why I want to find out these things. And you understand?
Yes.
You know the way God, when you see that the hand of God is in, she didn't really object. So we agreed. And the next morning, exactly by the time we agreed, she was there. We went. The Reverend Sister who was in charge of the lab took the specimen, and we now asked her, when is it going to be ready? She now gave us the date. I said, okay. I now dropped her off. She went to school while I continued my listening. On that date, we met again and collected the results there, opened it there, and we saw that the result was just very perfect. And that was how the journey started.
That was very fast, like
That was how the journey.
Wow. Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. Let me ask, okay, Mommy, let me ask you this question now. I know that for this past 30 years now, there is no way you tell me that Daddy has not offended you in one way or the other. Because as human beings, we are prone to offend each other. So I want to know what has been your course, like what have been your drive all these years in this marriage that has kept it this long? Because there's no way you tell me the offense had not come, or you have, I know you've offended him, must have offended you, but what has been your drive? What has been that has made it last this long?
How will I really remember as the offense? But the main thing is that right from when we got married, I've always known. I don't know, not that anybody specifically called me and said, make sure this thing works. No, from the first day that I got married, I have the feeling, the knowledge that no matter what it is, I will continue in this. So there was no specific, action that I would say, that one annoyed me, or that one annoyed me to the extent that it wanted to shatter what I thought before. No. If there was any argument that maybe we argued and along the line what I wanted was not agreed, I didn't see it as something that is worth making me to turn my back. No, it's just something that, okay, if it was explained well, okay, maybe my heart will calm down in it, or not maybe, rather incidentally it calmed down, and that was why it wasn't an issue to start to linger on. No, I knew that now this thing that you have begun, you have to complete it. No matter what it is, you will overcome and you will have a complete victory in it. So, and along the line, when one got to know Christ and know Him better, it was one of the basic things that shouldn't be a source of for me to sit down and be thinking it and, okay, are you sure this thing is going to work? Are you sure it's not going to work? No, rather, it's something that must work on and on and on. Along the line, even people that were my friends that maybe they hadn't, maybe I got married before them, that they were rather seeing me as, okay, this lady is an example. I desire to have like her. discussing with them, I won't be discussing, don't mind this man, or don't mind this thing, it doesn't allow me to do this, no. And as much as possible, nothing has made me to start discussing, okay, that marriage is 50-50. If it may work this way, it will not work this way. No. I saw it as something that must work. And it will work for everybody. The only thing that, if you know that the one you're doing is not correct, then leave it so that your own will work. And it has been on like that. And God has been helping us.
That's awesome. Did you have anything to say with regards to that question?
The issue is, for us, like I said, the spirit in me told me from day one, this is the one. And the relationship has been deepening with time. Just like the Bible says, wives, submit yourself to your husband, and husband, love your wife. It's not because she's here, but apart from life, I think life partner is the next thing God has done for me that I am most grateful to him about. I find it difficult to hurt her. Reason is that I know she is submissive. And in fact, I call her mom. I follow the children. We call her mom in my house. You get it there, because she's the embodiment of so many things. She's like a mother. She's like a wife. She's like a sister to me. To the point. In fact, one of the fears the father was expressing, when we are getting married, was that he's not sure that I was going to allow her to complete her university education, that kind of thing. So I laughed. I told the man, I said, incidentally, I lost my dad while in the university. In fact, after my second year in the university, I lost my dad. Being from a large family, my mom had us 10, you understand? And for those that are alive now, everybody has at least a first degree. I told my father-in-law, I said, come, in my house, all my sisters are all graduates. Then how will my own wife now will be a guy, I will now install her and put him to disadvantage. I will also be putting myself to disadvantage by not allowing her to go to school. It was that argument that he now allowed us to continue. You understand? Then coming on the side, the submission I'm talking about, a situation where, except you have not really convinced her about a certain line of action you want to take in the family, because me, I believe so much in dialogue. I'm not one of those men that when say surprises, you want to surprise your wife. No. I see it as people just playing to the gallery or trying to be selfish. The best thing is anything you want to do, discuss it.
Yes.
In fact, even in the planning stage, involve her in the planning, so that everything will flow. You will discover that even cases you think is a perfect something that this small, that kind of thing. By the time you discuss and she brings in her own idea, you will discover that you will even change your initial plan. So it's always better discuss any matter you want to do, you want to embark on in the family, because you never can tell who has the best idea. You understand? So I discovered that many a time, by the time you now bring up something, you will just get such an encouragement that will make you to, perfect whatever you want to do, and you go on. So why won't you love such a woman? Then the one that I will always point at was that it got to the point when, after her master's degree, she got a job with the state ministry, and just shortly after, I was now elevated to Director of General Services in my office, and I had this terrible boss that, really wanted to humiliate me, that kind of thing. So I was really having a tough time in the office. By this time, she had relocated to the east here while I was in Abuja. I thought about this thing. I said, come, the rate at which I'm going with this man, let me not break down before it's too long, I thought about it. I said, look, this one that your wife is this way and you are here. Many a time I will come back to the house around 11:30 at night. That's the time I will go and start looking for food to eat. Before I eat, it will be around 12:30, 1 a.m. Early in the morning the next day, you are up again. I said, no, this thing cannot continue. I called her on the phone. We discussed at length. I told her, you are going to resign that job and come back to Abuja. It sounded very, ordinarily you say, this man, are you thinking right at all? And when she saw the need, she agreed and resigned. In fact, my father-in-law really wanted to crucify me. He said, look, people are looking for a job. Your wife has got a good job and you are now asking her to resign. So, okay, tomorrow when you now leave service, is it the time she will start looking for a job again? I say, sir, God made it that husband and wife has to be together, job or no job. I say, secondly, when we need another job, the same God that gave us this one that she's doing, will give us another one. I made it was a prophetic statement, you get? But the fact was that she didn't argue. She resigned the job and came over to Abuja. She now went into private, we got an office for her. She went into private practice. And she was doing that until I retired and left service. It was then that, being that God saw our heart and knew that we are just trying to obey scriptures. You understand? I left service January that year. January that year, and we came back here in February. Then after which she went back to her job in Abuja while I was here. Then March, April, May, exactly 3 months after, she got a lecturing job that she's doing now. Wow. Me, I went to Bayelsa for a program. I was coming back. In fact, I was somewhere in Owerri when she called me and said, praise the Lord. I said, what's happening? He said, guess what? I said, what is it? He said, the head of department of estate management in Institute called her now to come and pick her appointment letter. Being that time I retired, when we came here in January, we wrote applications to some of the universities, neck here, that kind of something. We wrote applications and so 3 months after, they called that she should come and pick her appointment letter. I said, what are you still doing in Abuja? I said, if that's the case, please raise back. Because by this time, I was still praying, asking God, where actually are we going to settle? Are we settling here or do I go back to Abuja? You understand? But with that appointment, it just confirmed where God wanted us to settle down. So in fact, it was with that now, and I told myself, better start planning to stay here instead of in Abuja. And that was how I now opened up private practice here in Enugu. Why she now came and now accepted the offer of the university. So
the Bible can never trick us. Yes. Submission and love. I think that's the basic thing in marriage. I'm so enjoying this section, like seriously. I'm so enjoying this section. I'm learning a lot. Okay, let's round this up. Let me not take much of your time. Okay, I don't know if you have 1 or 2 advice for maybe single persons out there, and for the married to just 1 or 2 advice to help us in the marriage life.
Okay. The only advice I would give is still connected to what we said earlier about peace of mind. Make sure you don't go into something that is like you'll be doing it hide. You don't want anybody to talk about it as if there's something you're hiding or trying to cover. And so you want to just pretend about it. No. Of course, that marriage is not something that will be done under pretext. It's something that you should be open about, so that the one that you don't know, you can ask questions. You can ask people that you think know it better than you. If like now, if you're going through some things, there are people that you know that if I ask this person something, it's like he will give me an answer. So don't live a life of pretense. Be open. If you think that okay, if I ask this person, I'll be able to learn something better that will help me, it will be good that you ask. And the another thing is that don't be the type that want to show off and pretend to be what you are not, just because you want to feel that people know you, and so you come and be pretending and not allow the correct thing to be done, to be seen or known about you. It's not going to help anyone. One thing is that live a peaceful life. Another thing is that live a humble life. Humility. There's nothing that kills, about humility. Be humble yourself. All these, let them think it is well. Meanwhile, instead of you know that it's not really well, it won't help. It will not help you. So my advice is, as much as possible, try to find out that thing that you don't know about. Who can I ask to even know it? To even know about it? Or the one that I think I know, what can I learn more to perfect it, to make it better? And I know that God will never fail us in such a thing.
Amen. And please give us 1 or 2 advice for Randall.
The major advice I'll give to anybody is be true to yourself. Just be yourself. Like I said when I was talking, I said, you see some people, you won't tell your wife what you are doing. You will then you surprise her. Yeah, this and so. Be very careful, because it can make or mar relationships. You also cause surprise. In fact, a case comes to my mind. A very close friend of mine, we were in the same fellowship. He didn't want to tell the wife he wanted to buy a car for her. He went ahead and bought a Mercedes. The days of Mercedes 200. He went and bought that Mercedes 200. And drove it home and packed it during the office office hours when he know that the wife won't be around. They packed it. So in the evening when he now came back, he now, with surprise, now gave the woman the key that, I bought a car for. The woman said, what? Did I tell you? Did I tell you I didn't take car? Me that cannot even sit in front of a car, because the woman is that kind that she will, she's so frightened about, when she sees an oncoming vehicle, she will think that the thing is coming to hit them. You get it in the air. So many a time, even when she's going with the husband, if the children are there, she will allow the children to stay in front so that she can stay at the back, just because of fright, not for anything. Then, and the woman said, I don't need this car. If you had asked me before, I would have told you to use that money to do another thing instead of going to buy a car. You are always there carrying me to anywhere I want to go, so I don't need to drive. Until we left that place, the car was parked there. I think the man eventually sold it, and he can never sell it up to the amount he bought it. You get it? So things like that, just be yourself. Anybody that likes you will like you. Yeah. Anybody that doesn't like you, it's not because of you are trying to pretend that you get it in the air. So just be yourself and allow God determine many of these things, because many a time we want to be faster than or even smarter than God. You are wasting your time, because the one he has for you is always the best. Have it at the back of your mind. Whatever God has for you is always the best. The one you are trying to make by yourself will regret it later. But if you just go where he leads you, definitely you will enjoy your married life.
Wow. Thank you so much, Daddy. Thank you, Mommy. Thank you for your time. I really do appreciate. I pray that God will bless this marriage. Amen. It will grow better, grow stronger, and for all singles, God will help us.
Amen. Amen. Jesus' name.